Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new Let's Play on STAROWIES. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly because it is, I think it's a Polish map, so my pronunciation may not be the greatest. I must also apologise if my voice sounds a bit croaky. I'm currently suffering with a cold, which hasn't been the most delightful of things, but anyways, so to begin with, we will just go through some of the machinery we start with. So we have the Fendt, I think is it the GTA Turbo with the sprayer unit put on top of it, which is lovely, which you don't start with. I think the only, let's just close that door. I think the only machinery that I have kept that you start with is the weeder. So we've got that for herbicide and liquid nitrogen. That if we have time, so then we don't have to put liquid herbicide on, which will be very beneficial. Then we have, obviously, our very own Walter, sleep trigger. And we have over here, this is the grain store, so we can 200,000 litre capacity. Let's just nip through, can we go straight through? Yes. Over here, we have our seed drill, which this is actually as well, this is integrated with the map, but it does spawn in that shed over there when you first enter on. So with that, we have ourselves a little Cavernland plough. I think it's a 2 metre working width. So that's what we want to, with these fields, we want to start looking to join them together. That would be a nice little attachment. We have over here a bale trailer. So I think that's a lovely, real, like simple, simplistic sort of mod. So that will come very in handy. We have ourselves a little cultivator, a Gonzalez Sanchez Beta 9 arm. I've also started, I've put the firewood processing mod down. I mentioned this in my Oakbridge Farms Let's Play, that it was something that I was really desperate to have a go with. So I thought, well, why not? Let's just start with it on here and see what it's like. And luckily, this part, we just managed to put it out the way. There's a water spawn point over here, so for when we look at getting greenhouses, which is something I'd like to do, because you can do blueberries on this map. We have our pigsty, where we can get 70 pigs in, so that'll be something a bit different and interesting. I don't do much with pigs, so it'll be quite nice to do it on here. So let's close that up, and then over here we have our front loader for the Fendt GTA, was it? GTA Turbo, and we have some pallet forks. And that is everything that is in the yard. But if we have quick run down here, you'll see we also have a combine harvester, which I think the header on it is a working width of 4.2 meters. So that's a lovely old machine. We also have the Volvo from the Giants Volvo pack, Volvo BM, which is 140 horsepower, and we have the Massey Ferguson trailer, which I did put the auger on the back because I thought with that grain store you'll struggle tipping trailers up in there, so I thought having that auger on the back would be very, very handy. Right, let's get into here. We own field 45, which that's cultivated, 46, which is ready to harvest, is where we are now. We also own 56, which is a very big field. These are all wheat fields. Oh no, so canola, wheat. These are 2 barley fields, 60 and 59. We then own a canola field 15, wheat field 16, and oats field 1. Why is that not coming back up? Oh yeah, it has done, there we go. And oats field 1. We own this tiny bit of forestry here, which we can visit. So we own this tiny little bit, which will be very beneficial for our firewood processing. And then round the pond, we also own a bit of land there. So this is, if we scroll out, it is a very, very small map. But what I have done, by replacing a lot of the machinery, there's a lot of Zetor tractors, and you got the old Massey Ferguson combine. I've gone with slightly lower well, slightly older machinery, so it's not a vintage survival, but almost. Slightly older machinery, so there's less money in them, so selling them and whatnot is not really worth it. Eagle-eyed viewers amongst you would have noticed that I hadn't set the starting money correctly, so I've just done that now. So we're starting with £10,000, so we're not starting with a lot at all. And field prices, if you look at them, they are not very expensive whatsoever for what you get. But that all being said, I think we should start and get ourselves harvesting. So if we turn that on, I don't think there's anything to unfold on this machine, and we can make a start in this canola field. It is a very beautiful, picturesque map. Really do like these sort of maps, and it's a map that I would have looked at to do a vintage survival on. But at the minute, for my liking, I know there's a new Massey Ferguson seeder out, but that's a direct drill. But I would like to have a bit more choice than just going for that drill. And sprayer-wise, bar the Fendt GTA, there's nothing really that old, unless you go on your third-party website. But I am going to try and stay as much as I can with Model, which I know there's a big backlog involved in that at the moment. But hopefully in time that will sort of sort itself out. Doing the pigs will certainly be very interesting, because there is a 2-row planter that we can use, which I have. The only mod that I think I have got off a third-party website is the beet harvester. I'm going to have to, well, at the end of this episode I'll have to look up who made it again, because it's a fantastic mod by some fantastic modders. So we can use that. Renting is allowed, but we don't want to be looking at any big machinery. Loans will be allowed, so it's very much the normal sort of let's play, just on a much smaller scale. Because especially our Oak Bridge Farms let's play, we're now moving into a lot of the bigger stuff, which means we don't get to use a lot of this smaller stuff, which is what I'm very interested to get going and doing. So considering I'm in a canola field, we'll get this one done, and then we will look at getting the one over the road done, and then we can see what else we can get on with. As everyone knows, when you start in August, you tend to have a lot of fields ready to harvest, so harvesting is the first job that you mainly start to do. And with these fields being so small, it may be quite nice that I won't be using GPS a lot of the time, hopefully. So you don't get those lines on, which, to be fair, on a map like this, you could disable those lines fairly easily, because a lot of these fields I think are very self-explanatory, which would be quite nice. But yeah, so we'll get this canola field done, we'll get the next one done, and see you in a little while. So that was a fair... Oh, hello. Just like in my other Let's Play, but he crashing into everything, aren't I? But there's a proper collision on that all over. I would have thought they'd let you get away with a little bit. And we're not going to be able to do that now at all. Right, hold on. And there we go. We're past it. So let's pull underneath and we can finally see what this trailer is like in our very small grain store. But you can see by... Oh, that's it all in there. So you can see by the pitch of the roof, we just get under with the tractor. So if we did have a trailer that tipped up, I don't think it would work. So is it going to... No. So I remember rightly, it's O, I think. Will this now let us... oh, there we go. Straight away, tipping in. This trailer is just perfect. You can get a longer auger on the back, and I think you can also get greedy boards on this, which would be quite nice. Right, so that is one load of harvesting done. Which, oh, and this is where we get it out. I'm going to leave the icons on just for now, just so I get an understanding of where everything is. So, if we now look onto the map, we have crop types. So, we only have one field of oats, so we don't need to go do that just yet. But we've got two big fields of barley, so that could be the next one to go through. And look at these barley fields. I would like to, if we visit here and go this way, there is a chance... Well, there's more than a chance. We own this bit of woodland, so this is where I want to focus on taking trees down first, because then we can extend either field into this bit to get a bit more arable whilst taking the wood off. The only thing I'm very conscious of it is I do love this area. It's very beautiful and very picturesque. I don't want to ruin this too much, so all these trees will be staying. Right, let's get into here and let's find, so how do we get to the barley fields? I think we can go down this way, which I know this gate is it's quite tight as this one, especially through the corner, but we should be able to do it with relative hopeful ease, and that's why a 4.2 metre head is perfect, because it just goes through those sort of gaps. We don't own this field on the right, but obviously that first canola field, we've got 4 big trees there that we could also look to take down. But I don't know whether it'd be worth doing it or not, because it will not ruin, but I do quite like how that all looks. I'm not sure on my thought of whether to use workers or not in this. I actually haven't looked inside this yet. Oh, we're freezing. That's lovely, is that? Really love these old machines. I haven't looked at whether, or I haven't thought, I should say, whether we should be allowed to use workers, especially with everything being so small, whether it's worth doing or not, especially with our money. You look, we're still on £10,000 and we've done 2 fields so far. So it will help us on the financial stage. It'll be quite nice to see where we can look to build and expand the yard. So, I don't know, is 5 miles an hour the normal speed for harvesting? I seem to believe it was 6. Oh, I could be doing something wrong here. I am not. Swath dropping. That's a lot better. Because we don't own a baler, but we can always lease one. Especially with these big barley fields and with the wheat that we have as well. It'll be well worth our time. But like again in this series, there'll be no need for, well, we won't be able to afford, I think it'd be a waste of money if we were to rent an auto stacker. So I really do need to have a think of these 2 fields. I'm doing the headlands on both of them as a whatter. Just with them being a slightly awkward shape, it makes sense to either keep them as 2 fields but change the shape of them to make it more manageable, or combine them completely as 1 field and then just do it as a big L shape. Like I say, we're still going to do those bits of trees in that corner over there, still take them out to make it a bit bigger. But I know one thing, to begin with, we have plenty of land to go on, and with the price of land not being very expensive, I don't think it's worth just yet, or in the early stages, to look at buying ourselves more land. And if we do sell any fields, it will be selling the smaller ones, so like the oat field and that canola field, where it probably costs you more in time to go into harvesting and work them than it does actually what you get out of it. So we haven't even got round the headland fully, and we have 99, there we go, we have 100% full grain tank, which obviously 2,500 litres isn't a very big capacity, but it's plenty enough for us at this moment in time. So we'll go and get that unloaded by going over that gate's, nope, we need this gate open. So open that. Now let's just recorrect my course there, because obviously we went completely the wrong way. And we'll go get this emptied, and then we will carry on. Well, that is a full trailer load, so I think that's a good indication that we will just leave the harvester here for now, and we can go look at doing another job. So we'll go tip that trailer and then maybe go do some cultivating. I have to admit, I do love this auger. The only thing I wish that we could do is fold it up, so lift it straight up on the back, which I know it would increase the height of the trailer a lot, but it would be lovely just to get it sort of out the way. Right, let's pull this, well, we might as well just leave this here for now. So drop that off, and where was, I think the cultivator has been left up here. There it is. So we might as well go cultivate up our canola fields, get them ready to go, because I think barley's, well, your canola will be the first crop to go in, but I don't really want to be doing, I don't want to be doing canola after canola, because you wouldn't do that sort of thing in, well, you wouldn't really do it in real life. What we could do with getting a tree put into here to see how this goes. We are going to be asking a lot of this tractor, with it only being 140 horsepower. I think even with, I can't remember what this cultivator is, I'm hoping it's not a lot, but with the cultivator, ooh, I'm missing bits on that edge there. With the cultivator, I think we should be alright, but I know with the plough and the seeder, they require, I think it's 160 So I am hoping that we can get away with it, with this only being 20 horsepower sort of underpowered, because I know the Fendt that we have, that is only 95 horsepower, so that's even worse. So this will be our main tractor for fieldwork. So the only settings that we have turned off is, I think it's crop destruction is off, and periodic ploughing, that is also off. We do still need to lime, we still need to, well, obviously roll and all that sort of thing. Natural disasters, I've turned them off because I think they are brilliant for the game that they've started doing stuff like that. But when you get those random circles, which I think from what I've read and seen is to do with hail damage, they are rather annoying how they are the exact same, like the exact same shape, same pattern, you know, and it's just sporadic throughout your fields. Where if that was slightly better, it would definitely be something that I'd consider leaving on. This map also has custom collectibles, which I haven't looked in to see what they are, but I was watching when I was trying to do, well, if I'm honest, when I was trying to work out how to pronounce the name of this map, I did go onto one of Farmer Cop's videos, which if you were to ask me to pronounce the name again, I have completely forgotten. So I hope I'm not doing the mapper a disservice by mispronunciating it. But yes, I know that from watching one of Farmer Cop's, his map tour of it. I did look at Mr. Seeley P, but he doesn't seem to have it, so I imagine this could be a PC only map. What I will do is when we get up to the top here, we'll have a look to see what spreaders we have. I know in the base game you have that really small white one. I can't remember the name of it, but we'll shortly see what, well, I'll shortly jog my memory when I see it again. And I do think I have installed some others. So if we go to crop improvement spreaders, so the Salek, that's the base game one. That is 300 litres. And is that just fertiliser? And then we've got this one, the Vicon, which I think honestly, that could be our best bet. So what I am, 1,000 litres, extension 1,600. I think whilst we're here, we should buy that, so that we're ready to lime and fertilise. And what we will do is, whilst we're harvesting, I think the best, I think the best thing that we can do is sell our, because I don't want to sell them all now, because otherwise we're losing money until the best time. But what we could do is just keep selling little bits to make sure that we can still get our fields fully fertilised, fully limed, you know, so we get the best yields for next season. There is also contracts that we can do, and like I say, these collectibles, we could have a look to see if we could find some. But right, I'm going to get these two done quickly, and then I will see you shortly. So coming into this field, I did notice something that looks a bit strange, and knowing that there are custom collectibles, I think we could have found what they are. So we will just finish this little bit off. We will lift that up, and let's jump out here and just see. A bone. Why would there be a bone anywhere? So F1, yes. So if we collect it, if it's a ridiculous amount of money, then I don't. That's more than acceptable. 6666. So it's bones we're looking for to help us on our farming journey. What I haven't shown you, which could be of interest as well, I need to remember to drive on this side of the road now, is we have, for our firewood, here is our sell point. As you can see, there is loads, well, there's two, but there has been loads of cars going past, and there is loads of people walking, so it's the perfect sell point to get people to buy our firewood. And there's also a constructible that we can build. We do need to purchase this plot first before we can, but will it tell us what it is? Can we get in? No, it's not telling us what it is, but that could be something, because I haven't done the constructibles yet. I know money wise, unless it's been fixed in any way, they cost a lot more money in products than what they do to actually build. But I think for the sake of it, it may be quite nice to, if we get a chance to go, well, buy that bit of land first and then go and try build it. But what we are going to do now is, if we drop the cultivator off, we are going to put our bale trailer on, which you do start with a logging trailer on here, but I don't know, for my thoughts, I thought you're starting just with a bit, you may think I've started us with a bit too much here, but I just thought you had a bit too much stuff. It was all quite big stuff as well, like you had 170 horsepower Zeta tractor, and by the time you had it all, you had a fair bit of money there. All these buildings can be sold as well, so you can completely clear this yard of everything. The fences and the gates can be sold. I did think about doing that, but then I thought I might as well just keep them for the time being. I do love this trailer. It is a really nice trailer. But right, we're just going to get ourselves a load of timber. So let's find, there is some big spruce trees here. So let's hop out, and well, I'm sure I've got a chainsaw, yes, which I have said before, I am a huge Husqvarna fan, but I did feel I should look at using something just ever so slightly different for this Let's Play. So right, with that down, right, let's go. Take these branches off. Are they coming off? I hope so. All the way. That's that. I think it's got the majority. And then I've still got this measuring tool, which I think is brilliant, where if we go Z, I don't want 8 meters, I want smaller. So if we go 2 meters, 3 meters, let's go 4 meters. 4 meters long, let's see. And I'm hoping, I don't quite know what the lumberjack mod, which is installed as well, I don't quite know how much that will let me lift up. I'm hoping that it's not too much. Are we cutting in the wrong place there? No. Let's cut here. It's bouncing a lot, isn't it, on the floor? Let's cut that, and then we might as well keep that end on, so we can definitely do these bits. So let's bang that on, and we'll get this quickly. It shouldn't take too long. Is it going to let me? Okay, it is going to let me lift that, but as soon as we get a log grab, we will start using that instead. I think that will be a lot better for the realism side. Let's put a strap on there. This one there. And this is something I'm very looking for. Well, I've been very excited to give this a go with this log processing mod, because I know for myself I do a lot with logs, especially for our household. We have 2 fires that we run continuously through the winter. So this time of year, it's nigh on it. Well, it's almost a full-time job for me, splitting. Well, with the fallen trees that we have during the winter, it's now a perfect time for me to start tidying them up and logging to make sure that our household is prepared for winter time. I imagine pull straight into here like so, and then let's go to here. No, I will get it eventually. This one, brilliant. So we now have 3,400 litres. Oh, it's got a huge capacity in it, in here, ready to go. So what I do think is, on that note, thank you very much for watching. Please do, if you have enjoyed it, leave me a comment or a like and subscribe. And I very much look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.